Welcome back to Dracon's Plays, Dark Souls Remastered. Alright, so, I am sorry for the huge break in this series. Because of my schedule and other things I had going on, I did not have the time commitment to record these episodes, because they tend to be longer than most. Like, a lot of I think the shortest episode we have is like 40-45 minutes, and a lot of them are an hour or a bit longer. So it's like, yeah, they tend to be on the longer side. They take longer to record. I have prep work on them. Editing and rendering take longer, since these ones are at 1080, which I'm only doing for the sake of this series. I couldn't do that with every series. It wouldn't work. But anyways, so sorry about all that. I am hoping that I will be able to do the remainder of this series in one go with no breaks. Well, from your guys' perspective, I'll be recording it over the course of the next week or two. But anyways, this time we're going to go in actually, contrary to what I was planning on doing when I was talking last time, we are going to be returning to the Undead Asylum. And I'm using the Gravelord Sword, the sack, the black leather armor, black leather gloves, and the hard leather boots, which makes a interesting look. Kind of matches the sword, which is what I was going for. Now, I am returning to the Undead Asylum in this episode, so that I can get a certain ring, before we head down to Blighttown. And I chose the Gravelord Sword because it is very, very high damage. For what it is. But I have two-hand currently. Path ahead. So we have a message. Then you have a second message when you land here. Unfortunately, you can't actually see it from up there. You need to fall first. And then you're able to see it. Oh, that's right. I already came up here and I got the key. That's correct. Alright. Curl up like a ball. So at this point we have the prompt to stand. What you have to do is wait something like 30 seconds. For a second, I thought the leaves from this tree were actually for that one, and they were floating and looking weird. And then it's like, oh no, they're to this tree. And then I noticed they're floating and looking weird. Yeah, that looked great. The more I looked at it, it's like, oh, a few of those are just floating. They're just a blob of leaves floating in the air. Perfect. Such a goofy shot. Alright, so, anyways. So the Northern Undead Asylum in this return trip, you get this cool... Okay, we've aggroed 3 of them. They have quite the aggro distance. Yeah, these guys are not great. They do a boatload of damage. But these guys are one of the few examples of... Or not these guys. But the Undead Asylum North is one of the, I think, only examples of, like, past area revisiting. With, like, remixes that you have in the game. Start with, you have those guys, but then, as we'll see going further in, there's a bunch of stronger enemies, which is why I have the Gravelord Sword. Now, one of the other things you have in the asylum, and Again, I think you can technically trigger this before if you take certain items. Well, before you leave the first time. But anyways, so this is the nest of Snuggly the Crow. So this is a trading system in the game. You drop something like rubbish. So you drop one. You have the sack there. And then you save and quit. And then when you reload, I really wish there was just an offline mode option like there was in Bloodborne. But now when you reload, the item will have transmuted give me into a new item, like a Titanite chunk. You can get a lot of upgrade materials for this, but there are a few other interesting ones. For instance, if you trade the sack that my character currently has on their head, that is one way to get the demon's Great Hammer. The only other way is to beat the Asylum demon the first time. So that means either beating him with like the Broken Straight Sword, Black Fire Bombs, or in New Game Plus where you actually have a weapon. Yeah, you're able to drop the Skull Lantern, which gives the Ring of Fog. So that one is like aggro distance stuff. The Soul of Manus, who's a boss we'll fight later on, gives you the spell Pursuers, a cool tracking dark magic spell. The Sunlight Maggot gives you the Old Witch's Ring. Now, if you know anything about the structure of this game and its side quests, I guess you would put it, you would know that the usefulness of the Old Witch's Ring is greatly diminished by the time you can get your hands on the Sunlight Maggot, so for a lore playthrough or a first-timer, I would, like we talked about at the beginning, recommend Old Witch's Ring for those reasons. Let's see. The Xanthus Crown, if you drop that, you're able to get a Ring of Favor and Protection. Very, very good ring. It ups life, stamina, and equip load, but it breaks if you take it off. We'll be seeing that later on. Let's see. But yeah, you're able to drop a lot of items to get upgrade materials. So you're able to drop things like each type of moss here. What is this? Twinkling Titanite, 2 Twinkling Titanite. I can't remember. I think Dung Pie is another one. But there's a small list of ones you can drop that will net you upgrade materials. But that's the important ones anyways. The chunk, for me at least, is the one that I was really interested in out of that pool. I might come back for the twinkling at some point. Alright, so, because I know how this works, I'm going to walk around this way. So now there's 2 guys in the boss room. And, yeah, skirt that area by the message. It's not good news. Alright, so now I'm going to rest. And then we're going to go back up to where we found Oscar originally. Who is back up and about. Now, Oscar here actually has impossible equipment. Damn. Ha! Wow, that was ridiculous damage. The Crest Shield, which I am going to put on. The Crest Shield, shield of a nameless likely a high-ranking knight of Astora. they're referencing Oscar there, and also kind of the nameless knight from the trailers, who might actually be Oscar for all we know. But anyways, one of the enchanted blue shields, the Crush Shield greatly reduces magic damage. So we're gonna pop that bad boy on, and we're gonna take a seat. All right. Next up, we have a little bit of cleanup to do. And then we're going to go back to the main room. Alright. How'd that miss him? Ow. Thank you, Wolf Ring, and the poise. Oh, I haven't switched rings, by the way. So now there are two guys here, representing yet another remix. I can't one-hand. Alright, so the key that we got from the roof there in Firelink Shrine finally unlocks this door, which leads to a singular item, the Rusted Iron Ring. This iron ring was used to shackle the guilty. It is terribly rusted and faintly stained with blood. Those who find this strange ring to their liking will be pleased to find it easier to gain footing on poor ground, such as swamps. Improves balance on poor footing. So that's a horrible description. The one in the item description on swamps is much better, because that's an accurate description of what it does. So it allows you to walk through a swamp area, not quite unimpeded like it's normal ground, but I thought you were the other way. Oh, that staggered me. Well, perfect. All right. That is a horrible spot to fight him. Tight corridor. Not great. Yeah, so this is the other part of the area remix. You got Black Knights. And they're pretty strong. Come this way, buddy. Where I actually have spaced a circle strafe. The rust is real. What the crap? Alright. Black Knight Sword and Red Titanite Chunk. Thanks, motion controls. Nice. I'll take that. I already got their shield, too. Pretty good. Did I get any of their weapons? Black Knight Great Axe. I did. No halberd. Alright, so I've gotten half of the weapons. Anyways. Alright, so those Black Knights and their high stats are part of the reason I am using the Gravelord sword. The other part lies down below. Alright, so this is gonna be an interesting fight. Oh, that looks great. Alright. Ah, goddamn shockwave. It's a lot clearer where that shockwave hits now. Alright, I do actually have him toxic. Oh man, that is so much clearer. Yeah, that is so much better. Alright. Alright, this is going well. Gotcha! Victory achieved. And he drops a Titanite slab. Homeward Bone and Humanity. So we got our first slab. Titanite slab for weapon reinforcement. Legendary slabs were domain of the gods. Legendary slabs are the heirlooms of a nameless blacksmith deity who forged the weapons of other gods. Weapons forged with this slab become rare, legendary weapons. Awesome. And man, I just noticed I already almost have enough chunks to max upgrade a weapon. That's really, really nice. Alright, 24k. Okay, I need 41k, I believe? Alright, so down here we got another Black Knight. God damn you. This is not great for fighting him. That was a stupid exchange. Just red titanite chunk, that's fine. And down here at the end, we get a peculiar doll. Key item. That the top of the keys, of course. Strange doll in a strange dress. There was once a abomination who had no place in this world. She clutched this doll tightly, and eventually was drawn into a cold and lonely painted world. Alright, so that is actually a secret area that we will encounter much, much later in the game. So anyways, that's it for the Undead Asylum. We've taken care of everything that can be done here now. Alright, so you see how we're slower in this water? If we switch over to the Rusted Iron Ring, movement speed goes up. So we're essentially unimpeded. Yeah, I think it actually is normal movement at that point. Which is pretty cool, honestly. Now then. So, what I was talking about with the 41k, or whatever the number I actually need, that's actually for upgrading the Pyro Flame, which I actually need for an NPC, but that's the thing we'll get into later. So here you're actually able to see just the size of that hole. It's pretty substantial. God, these guys suck. Okay, friend. Don't know what exactly aggroed you, but sure. Alright, so that is that for the Undead Asylum revisit. Now we're going to return to Firelink Shrine. Let's see. Oh, whoops. There was a snuggly message. Alright, let the cutscenes play out, and then we'll go back, because I missed that message. Sorry. But on revisits, it is instantaneous. Alright. That is a weird spot for that message. Exchange. Really, really weird placement for that. Don't know. Don't know. That's weird. But anyways, just wanted to show that off. So that's part of the hint about how they work. Not a great hint, mind you, but it is technically a hint about how they work. Alright, now, with that out of the way, that elevator shaft looks super weird. Alright, so next, we're actually going to go ahead and go pay a visit to Andre, because we have a large ember to turn into him. Alright. Yeah, so the stray demon is actually assigned that it's like, no, they didn't just assign one demon as a guard for the Undead Asylum. They assigned 2 demons to guard it. It's interesting that whoever was setting up the asylums was willing to use demons as guards. And of course, demons being there attracts Black Knights because they were explicitly hunters of demons. So, all of that makes perfect sense when you look at it.
Why, that's a fine ember you have there. I could smith some mighty weapons with one of those. Why not lend it to me?
Here you go, Andre.
Magnificent. You won't be disappointed. I can hardly wait to get started.
So now, we're able to modify weapons up to +6, which is really nice. We're also able to modify +5 weapons over to raw, which removes scaling but ups base damage. And we already had divine.
I'll be seeing you next.
Excuse me.
Be careful out there.
Alright, so I just wanted to drop that ember off to him. That way I can use it in the future. Now then. Let's see. Next up, I actually want to go ahead and return back to the depths, where we have one last thing to do, before we wrap this one up. So what we actually have is another Seek Guidance message that I missed. I figured I would just go to that one since it was the next episode. Unlike the others that I edited in. I wasn't tired or yawning or anything before I started recording this. So that's fun. Anyways. Anyways, let's use most of these souls.
Oh, hello there. I'm pleased to see you, as always.
Alright, Laurentius. Bump up the Pyro Flame, which only costs souls. There is no material cost in Dark Souls 1. Alright. I wonder if I have enough consumable souls to bump that the rest of the way. There's a chance. 4,000, 10,000, 14,000. Be cutting it close. Why does that close out the menu? That's annoying. Alright. I didn't even have... God. Damn. So it's up to 10k.
Goodbye then.
Do I got anything else? That's 400. That'll be 9,000. 9,400. That's enough. Well, that's enough to get it up to +9.
Oh, well, as always.
Now I need 12k.
Goodbye then. Come back.
Alright, that's fine. Expensive. So, that's one of the changes I actually really liked with Dark Souls, like 2 and 3. They just made it cost materials. Oh, so it should be noted, this sword actually inflicts toxic. Alright. Yeah, so we're slowly getting there. So at some point I'll just make the run back up with 12k to max out the pyro flame. Because I need that for later episode. Alright. I know I should have kept some of those souls when I was grinding earlier. I bought a ton of Titanite shards. So it's not like I did a bunch of grinding to get levels or something to make my character very, like, super strong or anything. It's like, no, I was getting upgrade materials so I could upgrade weapons to accommodate this playthrough. Because normally I stick with 1, maybe 2 weapons per playthrough, which you'll see on, like, my other runs of these games. It's like, I'm not one of the guys that has to constantly be switching things up. I'm normally... Why? It has a... Dark Souls 1 has a problem where there's some spots where it'll just lock on to the absolute wrong enemy. Like the dog down there every time. Alright, already up to 1,000 souls. Not bad. So I'll easily have... Yeah, I'll easily end up getting that 12k to, get the Pyro Flame up to plus 10. Alright, nice. Alright, so anyways. Why does that do so much damage and poise damage? That is ridiculous. Alright. Back to the boss room. Alright, which actually is pretty close to where I have to go anyways. Just a little bit out of the way. Not much. Alright. So, the spot we're looking for is actually pretty close to where the body of the warrior is. I believe it's near the pillar near that. Alright. A boss room left of entrance. Oh, it's way back here. My bad. Weakness, head. So that's just a little thing telling you to attack the Gaping Dragon's head, because you do score double damage when you do so. Alright, so with that, that is actually essentially what I wanted to achieve this episode. Goddamn rat. Alright. Okay, so anyways, with that, I'm actually going to wrap this one up here. Next time, we're going to go ahead and descend into the upper part of Lighttown. So anyways, I'll see all of you guys later. Bye!